Hey guys, it's Alicia from My Work Basket. I've been meaning to do kind of a Yarntube video for you for like the last 2 weeks, honestly, just because I have so many projects going for Christmas and for December. And then I especially wanted to do it today because right now my son is playing at his friend's house and I should be cleaning the house, but I really don't want to. So I'm going to show you today what I've been working on. First, I want to give a quick shout out. I've got a lot of new subscribers in like the last week or two. And so I just want to say seriously, thank you for following me. I hope you like me. I make a lot of faces. I'm kind of goofy. So let me show you. I'm going to tilt my computer a little bit. I have kind of some weird glare in my glasses. The lighting is not that great today because it's actually snowing outside again, even though it's only December. I live in Maryland. This is not super common to already have snow twice. But it's coming down. I mean, like I could see it on my car out the window. But I'm going to show you. I am next to a giant Rubbermaid bin. My husband got sick of me having projects all over our ottoman and all around the couch. So he dug this bin out of somewhere and was like, put all your stuff in here. He's a lot more tidy than I am, I'm not going to lie. So I have a bunch of projects in there and just all kinds of fun stuff. And then next to that is even more projects that I'm working on. So one thing I'm working on is just a basic, super basic knit and round. It's Yarntube Purl 2 ribbing. And I'm just doing a hat for a family friend. I'm actually working in it. Someone gave me a yarn bowl and a buddy swap that I was in, and so I'm kind of trying that out. And I just have this much of a bowl left. This was a skein of Peace Fleece, which is a wool. And so I'm just trying to go until this ball is only big enough for a pom-pom, and that's when I'm going to call it done. So I'm not really following a pattern. Oh, excuse me. I'm just kind of making that up. And that's for someone for Christmas, just like a family friend. I also, a couple weeks ago, I bought 2 skeins of this amazing Lion Brand shawl in a ball. And this is the Prism colorway. Let me see if I can get that on there. So I saw this and I just thought, oh, it's amazing. It's so beautiful. I buy yarn a lot just because it's so pretty. And even though it says shawl in a ball, I did buy 2 balls because, why not? What if I want a really big shawl? And so I mentioned on Instagram one day, I was like, I got this yarn and I really wanted to do a shawl, but I knew I wouldn't wear it. So I was like, well, who could I do a shawl for? Should I design a pattern or what should I do? And so I showed my mom. My son does video calls with her a lot. And I was like, look at this yarn I just got. She's like, oh, make me a shawl with it. So I started and I am. So this is just a super basic shawl that I'm working on with that. I'm just doing 5 rows of garter and then a row of drop stitch. And I think I'm going to block it, although it's, I like that it is surprisingly thin. I mean, you could see, it works up quite loose and floppy. And so I'm loving that yarn. I think it's beautiful. I don't know yet if I'm going to end up needing 1 ball or 2. I have a decent amount of a ball left. I'd say I've used maybe half. But I also kind of have a decent-ish length of shawl already. It's probably about 3 feet, maybe. So, I mean, I actually have ridiculously long arms, but it does go. So it's about 3 feet already. And that's just from about a half of the ball. So I might really get a pretty decent-sized shawl out of a single ball. I'm loving it. The yarn works up really great. There's just a very slight bit of thick or thin to it, and I just think it's working up lovely. Let's see, some other things I have. Let's toss some aside. Some of this is not even craft related. My crochet hook and knitting needle sets have not been put away. This is stuff to get rid of. My box has clearly become kind of a junk bin. A couple months ago, I guess now at this point, I released a free pattern on my website called the Ann Shawl, and it's made with a worsted weight yarn, and I promised I would do a similar pattern with a lighter weight yarn, and I have finished my sample. I haven't woven in my ends yet, and so what I'm going to do is create another free pattern. This is in the Lion Brand Mandela yarn, so just a lighter weight, And it's going to include 2 additional edging options. So this just has kind of these crazy curly cues. You can see here how it works up. So I'm going to be releasing that pattern. And this one is going to be called the Catherine shawl. I named the first shawl the Ann shawl after my aunt, Ann, who tried to teach me to crochet. And I'm going to name this one Catherine after my mom, who managed to successfully teach me to crochet. So those are the 2 people who really were an influence to me in learning to crochet. I have finished all the blocks for my crochet along. There's the big hooks there. So I'm working on hooking them together. I still have just a little bit more to do. I have 1 additional row to hook together, which I'm actually saving to do a video tutorial when someone else in my family is around and can help me. I do like to have kind of backup for holding the camera and stuff like that when I'm recording a tutorial video. And so I'm working on this. And the last stitch tutorial for how to hook your squares together will be coming. The pattern just says, sew together. I opted to not do that. I'm like crocheting mine together with a method I call the alternating single crochet. It's pretty easy. It's a decent sized blanket. I don't love it, but I kind of knew when I started, I probably wouldn't like the finished blanket. I don't think I've ever made a blanket that I loved. I usually buy blankets from thrift stores that are crocheted that I love, and I make ones that I don't really like. But to me, the point of that project was to learn more Tunisian crochet stitches, which I did. I learned 9 stitches, 10 really altogether. So that was awesome. It served its purpose, even though I don't love the finished blanket. I blogged about these recently. I still have to weave in some ends. This is the easy puff stitch hat. It's made with Mandela yarn also. I know the Mandela yarn right now is super popular, and I gotta say, I'm loving it. It's my favorite thing to work with right now. Both of these hats are from one skein, and I also made a baby hat for a friend from a similar skein. So I like that they kind of match, but they're not matchy-matchy. This was the start of the skein, and then the colors just kind of went down this way, and then kept going this direction. So you can picture, that's kind of the color coding of the skein. And that skein was called Gnome. I think that's the Gnome colorway. I've got empty Ziplocs from finished projects. Instead of doing a video of Yarntube, I should have probably spent some time or done a video of organizing my giant bin of projects. This is the finished sample. I wrote about this recently of the November hot mat experiment. Kind of a failed pattern that I did. In my video for the Tunisian lace stitch, I said that I really liked the stitch. I didn't like it in the particular blanket in the throw that I showed you. So I said I was going to do another project, and I have been working on that. I've been using, I kind of work on this a row or so at a time. It's kind of slow going. This Premier yarn in Puzzle. And this is the Riddle colorway in kind of blues. And so I have been using my lace stitch on a scarf. My hook's all tangled up in here. And so that's just looking like this. I do think it's working up really nice. It's kind of curly because it's been shoved in there. The way the stitching is going and the way the color changing is going, I really like it. And this isn't really for anyone. We'll see if I get it done for Christmas. If so, it might end up being for someone. But mostly I just was doing it because I wanted to do something with that pattern. I have also in here, I posted on Instagram the other day, I found this vintage noisemaker. It's kind of like a wonky thing. It makes the craziest sound when it works right. It's very... And I had posted on Instagram because my husband hates it. So we found this cleaning the other day, and I was driving my husband crazy with it. And it ended up tossed in my bin for no real reason whatsoever. I am still working on my Annie's Attic Epic embroidered wrap. Now this pattern, they gave me this pattern for free so I could share it and talk to people about it. which really worked out great because I honestly, I would have bought it anyway. So I love this. It's quick going and slow going at the same time. I don't love stockinette stitch. And I also have been crocheting a lot more recently than knitting. So it's just kind of slow going. But I'm still working on that. I'm coming up to the end of my first skein of yarn. I'm actually just making this in the Walmart Mainstays basic yarn. I use a little bit of everything. And this is the medium gray colorway. I'm loving the color. I'm loving the yarn. To me, the Walmart yarn is more affordable than the Red Heart. I think it's about 75 cents a skein cheaper. But I like the quality a lot better. I think it's a lot more finished feeling, a lot smoother feeling. The colors have a more natural, to me, Red Heart, when it's, you know, like heathered looking, like that gray sweatshirt material, to me, it's kind of fake looking, like it's more like specks. Versus this is, to me, a very smooth, very natural color. More empty Ziplocs. I've got, I mean, I work with vintage magazines, so I've got just vintage crazy magazines stacked in this box, ones that are waiting to get talked about. Things that I'm debating doing to show you are in here. This is a January issue I have coming up. The cover's missing because it's an old one. This is the stack of work basket issues that I've used so far on my website. I honestly, I don't even know why they're in here. Another stack of various November and December issues. There's a bunch of vintage magazines in my bag here. You know what? This is a doily project from a couple months ago. I don't even know if I've talked about that yet. So there's several projects in here that I started that just weren't working out. I really should clean this out. Here is the finished sample of the Anne shawl in the just triangle scarf size. Yeah, so I've just got a bunch of different things going on here. Lots of stuff. Oh, this is fine. This has nothing to do with crochet, but one day I was at the thrift store and I found this tiny sack of just, I think they're fat little men. I'm not really sure, but I do a lot of vintage stuff, and I found these one day and I was just like, what? I can't even get them to come in clear. But so I ended up with those one day because sometimes you just can't say no when it's a super cute vintage item. There's my unstarted shawl and a ball. There's a lot of yardage on these skeins, I've got to say. So it's a 5.3 ounce skein, 150 grams, 481 yards. Lion Brand, you're doing it right. I love that. And the Mandela yarn. I've talked a bunch of times about my Euphoria cardigan. Is it Euphoria? I can't even find my pattern's not in here. This is another one from Annie's Attic. It's another one they did give me free so that I can make it and I can review it and I can tell people about it. It's another one I totally would have purchased anyway. But I'm loving it. When I started it, it's so funny. I just happened, the only crochet hook I could find is this crazy one that I bought online, which I'm really liking it. My cardigan is almost wearable. So I've got one side that's from the armhole out, finished, and I'm working on the second armhole side. So I can actually, I'll put it on top of my other cardigan just to show you. I actually have a somewhat wearable Euphoria cardigan. Where's the other armhole? Ta-da! Cardigan layering, folks. That's what we're going to be doing. So you can see this is my finished corner. I don't know how well you can see. And it just drapes. And then this is the corner I'm working on now. And so you make one big square. Let me see if I can. You make one big square. And then it's got a kind of a decorative medallion here in the middle. And then you just keep working down on the left and the right side. So I'm making some good progress with that. And it's coming a little slowly just because I actually had to go downstairs and get it. I have it set up on the couch. And I usually only work on that while I watch TV at night. And there's a lot of nights I don't watch TV. I don't really watch a lot of TV in general. So there's a lot of nights that I don't work on it at all. And then some nights I might get 4 inches done, and the next night I might do like a single row. So it's just a little slow going. But before you know it, I'll be doing sleeves. And my 4th, I think it is, cardigan in my life will be complete. I usually don't do a lot of big projects like cardigans because I don't know if it shows, but I have a little bit of craft ADD. I change around a lot. I just don't usually complete a lot of big projects like throws and afghans and cardigans, and I love them. I love people who make them. I'm like super appreciative of the talent out there and the interest in doing it, but I would just much rather make a quick hat and kind of be done for the day. So anyway, that's what I'm working on right now. That's what's in my giant, ridiculous Rubbermaid tub of crafts at the moment. Non-yarn related, I'm working on a reindeer out of egg cartons. My son and I are finishing up painting some clay ornaments. Those will be showing up on the website very soon because I want you to have time to make them if you're interested. And they use an ingredient that I had to special order. So it's a vintage thing that, being only in my 30s, I never even knew existed, but you can get on Amazon. So if you have Amazon Prime, that'll work out great for you. I'll be honest, I don't usually have Amazon Prime. I just happened to at the time that I needed this weird ingredient. So that's what I'm working on. I hope that if it's snowing where you are, that you're toasty and warm and in the house doing fun crochet, yarny, crafty stuff and not driving in it because I hate driving in the snow. I'm really lucky that I don't usually have to. So, hopefully that you're all, wherever you are, wherever your weather is, whatever your weather is, not wherever your weather is where you are. Hopefully wherever you are toasty and warm and healthy and well. I probably won't do another video until after Christmas, except for the tutorial video for the final step you need for your Afghan. So happy holidays to everybody. I think we're still in Hanukkah, so happy Hanukkah. Christmas is at this point 10 days away. My husband works on Christmas Day, and so my family will be doing it on Christmas Eve. And so I'm very much like, well, is it 10 days until Christmas or 10 days until our Christmas? And I'm just generally a confused mess anyway. So Merry Christmas to everybody out there who will be celebrating Christmas soon. Happy Hanukkah to everybody currently celebrating Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. I have no idea when that is this year. Just happy everything to everybody. Again, I'm Alicia from My Work Basket. I hope to be doing more videos for you. I hope you enjoyed this one. Glad to have you. I'm always glad to have you. Please, I mean this so seriously. I really want people to be crafty. I really want people to live a life that they enjoy and to make things that they admire. So if you have any questions about crafting, shoot me a message. I have a contact form on my website over at myworkbasket.com. You can leave me a comment here. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Ravelry. Please, if you have a question about how to do a crochet stitch or a knit stitch or how to make something or I really want you to be crafty and to make what you want to make. And so reach out to me. If you have a doily that your grandmother made and you want to show me, I love seeing those things too. So, reach out to me. I love hearing from everybody. I try to reply to every message, every email, every comment. I do my best. So, take care. Reach out to me. Again, this is Alicia from My Work Basket, and have happy holidays.